everybody. Welcome to the lunch table. My name's Evan. Today I'm joined with Nick, Zach, and Joel. And football season is upon us. It's a great time. We got football starting on Thursday. College football already started. NFL starts Thursday. And we're going to do some week one predictions. And we're also going to be reacting to some of your guys' hot takes. Nick made a TikTok a couple of weeks ago. And a bunch of people left some comments, so we're going to be reacting to those. It should be a good time. But before we begin, make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy and you're excited for the NFL season, and to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at LunchTable.Takes. Without further ado, Nick, what is our first hot take of the day?
All right. I want to preface that these are not mine. Okay,
Gotta make sure you do that.
I'm not gonna say I agree or disagree with any of these. Okay, these are just stuff that people left on my my TikTok. All right, first one. Commanders for Life says Jayden Daniels wins Offensive Rookie of the Year.
I don't even think that's that hot of a take.
I was gonna say I think that's very possible. In fact,
it's possible, but do you think it's going to happen?
Do I think it's going to happen? I think it comes down to three guys. And those three guys include Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Jayden Daniels would be my number three.
Yeah, those are your three options.
I think it could be in that order.
I picked Jayden to be the Offensive Rookie of the Year in our award predictions, but I think he's going to start off doing pretty well. I've heard a lot of good things about him. I think it's going to be him and Caleb are going to be neck and neck for majority of the year. I think. I mean, I'm sure like the Vegas odds are probably saying Caleb and Marv are probably the top two, but I think Jayden Daniels has a pretty strong case too. If he plays how everyone's been saying he has, I think he's got a strong case to
yeah, I really don't think that's a very hot take. I mean, we talked about this for quite a little bit on the season predictions. We went on a little tangent there.
Don't say we. Don't say we. You went on a little tangent there.
I am extremely high on Jayden Daniels. So, I mean, personally, I don't think this is a hot take at all. Now, for the sake of my fantasy team, I hope it's Caleb Williams. But outside of my fantasy team, I think Jayden Daniels has a really good chance at doing this. He's a spectacular athlete. Personally, I think he's in a pretty solid situation in Washington. The only thing that concerns me with Washington is just the offensive line, giving up an unholy amount of sacks last year.
Part of that was on Sam Howell, though.
Sam Howell held the ball
way
a
too long.
ton.
But they also
but their offensive line wasn't very good either.
No, their offensive line is still terrible. But
so I think that their offensive line is really their biggest concern. Outside of that, I mean, I think he's got the tools to succeed, and I think he's a phenomenal quarterback and football player. So I'm excited to see him. I don't think that's a hot take at all, honestly.
I am too. I'm excited. And I think I spoke very adamantly about that in our season predictions.
You did. You were the person pushing Jayden Daniels.
I'm
the most.
On the Jayden Daniels hype train.
Well, I remember you were saying, like around draft time, that you think Jayden Daniels ended up being the best quarterback in this class.
I do. I really
don't even hate.
I really do. I just think this year, like heading into this season, if you look at the two scenarios between Caleb Williams and Jayden Daniels, I think Caleb Williams is set up to succeed a far more than Jayden Daniels is.
Yeah, he definitely is. I mean,
impressive. It's going to be impressive if Jayden Daniels even takes this team to be higher than what we expected them to be.
Yeah, I mean, Caleb Williams is pretty well set up for it just because of the surrounding cast that they put around him. I mean, if Caleb Williams doesn't succeed, then I think he's just objectively bad.
The Bears are just cursed at quarterback.
But, yeah, I mean,
that could be too.
I think that Jayden Daniels, like as an individual player, could make a case for the Offensive Rookie of the Year for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
I think he should, to be honest with you.
I like him
at least
a lot.
Be in the discussion. I don't know if he's going to win it, but
yeah,
he's wholeheartedly in the discussion. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Barring injury.
Yeah, barring injury. We just don't. I hope it's nothing like a RG3 type thing. That would be devastating.
Yeah, we'll see a Burrow and Herbert offensive rookie of the year race that we saw a couple years ago. It'll be a good race. I
Wasn't
think.
much
I
of
think
a
Caleb
race
Williams
after
is your.
about week 9.
I think Caleb Williams is your most likely guy just because of what the Bears have surrounded him with. But I would love to see Jane Daniels win it.
All right. Next one. I'm kind of combining two of them. These were two separate ones, but they're pretty similar.
Okay.
Tyreek Hill breaks the receiving record and goes for over 2,000 yards receiving, and the Dolphins win their first playoff game in 22 years.
I don't hate that at all. I don't get me wrong, Tyreek Hill is getting up there in age, but like his numbers over these past couple seasons under Tua have been absolutely insane. And it shown. I think 2000, because wasn't it just this past year that he was on track for 2000?
Yeah, he was on pace to break it before he got hurt late.
Yeah. So if you can get a fully healthy season at a Tyreek Hill, I think that 2,000 mark can easily be broken by him. Now, if it comes down to that matchup, I would love to see the Dolphins actually get a win in the playoffs. I think it has to go through Miami, though. Miami has to win the AFC East, in my opinion, for them to make it past the first round.
Yeah.
I really don't think that's a hot take at all either, honestly. I was expecting these to be just
2,000
horrendous
yards
takes.
is absurd.
He literally was. We have seen two guys. We have seen two guys come very, very close to breaking that already just in one season. So, do I think he's going to get 2,000 yards? No. But do I think it's a hot take? No. Like, it's not a hot take. It could happen. I don't think it's going to happen, but it could happen.
Yeah. I think he can get really close.
I think that he's your best bet for it. I'm not a huge fan of Tua, so I'm not really sure how he's putting up these insane numbers with Tua. Because I don't think Tua is very good, personally. But he has been putting up the numbers, so I think it's possible.
He's just a complete game changer.
Yeah.
Offensively.
He's put up the numbers, so I think that's possible. And I think that if the Dolphins are going to win a playoff game under Mike McDaniel, then it's got to happen at some point here soon. You know, like they had their shit. I mean, they should have won the last 2 years in a row now. Like they had the team to do it. So
I don't think.
I think it's only a matter of time
before they get over the hump.
What'd you say?
I don't think Mike McDaniel is the problem.
No, I don't think so either. I think this past year.
I'm just saying, at some point they'll get over the hump.
Yeah, they just can't. It seems like they can't finish off the season.
They can't.
Yeah, they get worse as the season goes on, but at some point they'll fix that.
Hence why I say that it needs to go through Miami for them to win.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that gives them at least their best shot. I'm not saying they can't win on the road, but I think that gives them the best chance to win.
I would agree.
Yeah.
But I think that goes for any team, though, too.
Yes, but more so the Dolphins.
Because, honestly, think about this. Miami goes into Baltimore. I'm taking Baltimore every single time.
Well, they played
unfortunately
last year, and Baltimore demolished them.
Yeah.
It wasn't even close. Lamar Jackson had 5 touchdowns.
Well, I think all of us in our playoff predictions had them around that 6-7 seed. So
yeah,
if that's
I had them winning the division. I had them as my 4 seed.
I'm pretty sure I had them winning the division.
Ironically, I had them losing in the first round anyway. So
yeah,
I had them as my 5 or 6.
I think it helps them out a lot. But yeah, I mean, I think Tyreek Hill can. If anybody's going to get 2,000 yards, I think it would probably be him. I mean, last year he had 1,800 yards, and the year prior he had 1,700. So he's on his way. He just has to. I think if he can get a fully healthy season, then I think it's worth. I think he can do it. But I mean, 2,000 yards is very difficult to get. So, but I think it's probably the most likely out of everybody this season to do that.
Yep.
So are any of these actually hot takes, Nick?
We'll get to one.
I'm expecting Daniel Jones.
Because I'm going to be full on honest with you, Nick. the things that I hear come out of your mouth are way worse than both of these things that you've said just
I
now.
don't even think that's true. You want a hot take?
Yes.
Here's one. Ben commented, the Lions got bailed by an easy schedule last year and had a cakewalk to the NFC Championship. They have an 11-6 ceiling and will be first-round exits this year.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that their playoff run was a cakewalk. I mean, they played.
Who'd they go through?
The Rams.
Rams.
And the Buccaneers.
Then the Bucks, which I mean,
The Rams was not a cakewalk. I'm
No,
gonna be
I
full.
don't
I
care.
said this in the season predictions. I think the Rams should have won that game.
And then
to be honest with you.
they were very close to beating San Francisco. The Bucks won. I'll give them that.
No, they beat the
I don't even
Eagles.
think the
I
Bucks
feel
was
like
a
once you
cakewalk. The
get
Bucks
to
were a
the
solid
division-
team.
Yeah, I
Once
feel
you
like
get to the
once
divisional round.
divisional round, you're going to be playing good football teams the rest of the way.
Am I the only one here that thinks that Rams team was not a cakewalk?
no, I
That
agree.
That Rams team was very good.
I think the Rams should have won that game.
No, I
But I
mean,
don't know. Anyways, I don't necessarily agree with this.
I still think they win the division this year.
I don't think that they're going to go. I don't see them going as.
I don't.
I think they can
I don't
at
know.
least get out
I
of
think
the
they can
first
go.
round.
I mean, obviously, I think they can.
I think they're going to at least get out of the first round, like Evan said.
I think I had
Like,
those
are they going to win the
predictions.
division? I think people are sleeping on the Packers a little too much. So I don't know. I don't know that the division is given. The Packers are a very, very good football team.
I'm pretty sure I had them in my Super Bowl.
The Lions?
Yes,
I think you did.
actually, I did. Yes, I
The
did.
Lions are a great team, so I don't really. I mean, even if they had, I mean, objectively, they had an easier schedule last year because they played a bottom tier schedule. So yeah, they had an easier
They'll have a
schedule.
harder schedule this year.
Their
But at the
playoff
same
run
time-
wasn't- their playoff run wasn't a total cakewalk, and their schedule will be harder this year. Yes, but I still think that they're a pretty legit team. I think that they'll get out of the first round at least.
Yeah.
But
Winning
at
the
the same-
division, I don't know, because like I said, people are sleeping on the Packers too much. I think the Packers have a very real chance at winning that division.
But I will also say this. The Lions this year are more of a complete team than they were last year.
Well, and they're older and more experienced too, because the team
You got a
that we
year
saw
under your
last
belt
year
of
was a very young
yeah,
team.
exactly. You got a year under your belt of experience, plus you've addressed the holes that you need to take care of business. Let's be real
And-
with ourselves. They should have beat the 49ers last year if it wasn't for horrible
Poor
play
coaching.
calling.
Well, and that's the other thing. Dan Campbell's got a year under his belt, and he's not going to be a moron probably anymore in the playoffs. So
I don't know. We'll see. That's kind of just Dan Campbell is kind of a guns.
He is a gunslinger. There's no
Okay, but here's the thing. You can be a gunslinger and you can take chances, but there comes a line when this is like, I'm going to take risks, but this is just stupid. And he crossed the stupid line several times in that game. There is a fine line between taking risks and being stupid.
He looked like Weaver playing Madden.
Yes.
Where punting is.
Punting is forbidden.
Punting is non-existent.
It worked for me in Madden.
So what you're saying is
I think
Dan
they'll at
Campbell's
least
playing
get out of the
Madden?
first round.
Yeah, he was in that game, I guess.
What were you saying, Evan? Sorry.
I think they'll at least get out of the first round. I really
I
like
think
the
I think
Lions.
first round exit is crazy.
Yeah, I really like the Lions this year.
I don't like.
For
I
mainly
could
all
see
of the
them.
reasons Joel said.
I could see them losing in like divisional or conference championship round, but I think they'll get out of the first. 'Cause I
Agreed.
think they're a good team.
Like, I don't think they're a shoe in to go back to the NFC Championship.
No,
I think-
definitely not.
I
No.
think they can at least win one game.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree with
Barring
that. They're definitely not a
significant
killer.
injury.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I definitely disagree with that one. But that's not like a flaming hot. Like I'm not like fuming at that take.
That's
That's
like,
not
not a flaming
Thanks,
hot
Mark.
take.
That's not a flaming hot spicy Cheeto take.
like most of the things Nick says just gets me like wanting to jump off a roof and scream. Like that's not really that, you know.
All right.
Next one.
Next.
One. All right. Banzo_Duke says the Browns go 12-5 and win the AFC North this season.
They're
Okay.
not winning the North. That's a bad take. But 12-5. That's no.
12-5 is a stretch.
That
They
whole
went,
that
they
whole
went
take
11-6
is a stretch.
last year, so
11-6.
No.
I just don't trust Deshaun Watson enough for me to put him at 12-5.
Deshaun Watson's terrible, and you're also playing in the best division in football.
They have
The
one of the most
Rams and
complete
Bengals are
rosters in the
heavy favorites.
NFL.
Huh?
Like, outside of quarterback, that's one of the most
yeah.
well-rounded-
outside of quarterback, it's up with like San Francisco,
It
and
is.
Kansas City, and all.
It
those
is.
teams.
Yes, but the
simply-
quarterback they have is so bad it takes them down. And
Simply
they're
based
also
off the
playing with
quarterback.
the Ravens and the Bengals twice a year, and the Steelers.
I was gonna say this. Simply based off the quarterback for the Browns and Deshaun Watson, I cannot take him or the Browns to win the AFC North with the likes of Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow.
And the Steelers defense.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, that
I
too.
mean, the
but
Browns' defense is like literally better, but
it is.
they're
But
both very good.
is it going to be enough? I mean, it proved to be enough a couple times last year. But is it going to be enough
Not to get
this
to
year?
12 wins.
Not for 12 wins.
When you play Burrow and Jackson twice a year. Yeah, that's not. There's no. That's a pretty bad take.
I think I'm gonna have to. I still see them as about a 9 or a 10 win team. Like, don't get me wrong, at 12, I don't see them winning the division, but I see them going above 500.
I agree with that. If they played in the NFC South, 12-5 is reasonable.
Yeah, they'd have 6 free
Well,
wins.
last year they went 3-3 in the division, so they split evenly, which I think will probably happen again.
And that was like they were really good last year.
Yeah.
Like they went to that was a good team last year too. And they
I think
split.
I don't know if they can get to 12-5. I do agree that they're like outside of quarterback one of the most complete teams, and if they had a better quarterback, we'd probably be talking to them as about serious Super Bowl contenders. But
It's simply
Watson's
Deshaun.
just such a huge question mark. Until he proves otherwise, I have little faith that they can be that.
And I said this on the pod last year. It's simply based off of Deshaun Watson. If Deshaun Watson can bring even an ounce of what he was in Texas,
The
but
Browns
down
could
the
be a
play-
terrifying team.
exactly. But right
They
now,
brought a man who is in his mid to late 30s off of his couch, and they immediately performed better as an entire team.
That's not even a joke.
I know.
No, it's not. So
I know.
them with Deshaun Watson, they're not getting 12 wins, especially in that division. No way. And like they split. They literally split last year, and the Steelers were worse, and the Bengals did not have a healthy Joe Burrow, and they were significantly worse on
They
defense
beat him
than they
week
will be
1.
this year.
Wait, no, that was after his calf thing. So
He was not healthy, and the Bengals were significantly worse on defense than they will be this year.
In
So
theory.
the entire AFC North got better this year. No, they're not winning 12 games, and they split last year. That's not happening. No.
all right, one or two more, Evan.
We can do 2 probably.
2 more. All right. This is a
Let's
funny one.
spice it up a little bit, Nick.
JK Breaks 26 says Giants go 10-7 and finish second in the NFC East.
That's horrible.
Is this Tyler's
That's
burner?
No, I don't know. I don't think so.
Tyler's burner.
Hey, cue my best Stephen A. Smith laugh.
That's bad. That's really bad.
That's not happening.
No.
I don't think that will happen in a while.
That's the worst one. For sure.
I didn't know we were going through the multiverse.
Yeah, that one's terrible.
That's
They have nothing.
awful.
The Giants,
I had them. I said they were bad enough to lose all 17 games.
I don't think they're that.
Did you
good.
have them?
I don't
This
think they're
team
that
is
bad.
terrible.
Did you have them,
This
like,
team
3 wins?
sucks.
I had him at 4.
I know I was the highest on the Giants, and I had them at 5-12. So,
I think I had them at 3.
Yeah,
I have him at 4 and 13.
This is an awful, awful team.
like
Until
their
they get-
defensive line is going to have to turn into like Reggie White, Aaron Donald, and like
The Bears.
Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah, like Lawrence Taylor.
And that might
For them to
win
even
them
have a
6.
winning record.
That might win him 6 or 7. Their offense is that bad.
That offense is bad.
Let me double check. No, I had him at 3-14.
I'm the
Yeah,
only
they
one giving
are-
them more than 3 wins.
Now, if
They are
were to,
horrendous.
like next year when they move off of Daniel Jones and hopefully draft somebody if he pans out, maybe in a couple years that could happen. But I think that's going to be like 5 years down the line.
Yeah, we're talking like
But then
we're
they-
talking like 3 to 5 years
10
until that's
7.
even the discussion.
Yeah, they're going to need a complete roster turnover before that happens.
I mean, they got Malik Neighbors, who I like, but that's literally it.
An
Oh.
aging Devin Singletary at running back.
Malik
Hey,
Neighbors is the
don't
only
disrespect
offensive
Devin
piece.
Singletary.
I love Dave. I love Devin Singletary.
Yeah,
He's just
good.
27
He's
years
not
old
good.
or
He's
something
He's
like
just
that.
getting up there, like
Relatively speaking, for
relatively speaking. Yeah.
He's not.
Malik Neighbors is the only offensive piece they have that I'm like, you know what? That's a good piece.
He's about to tear it up on my fantasy team.
You better hope so. You better hope Daniel Jones can be upright enough to get him the football.
I hope so.
Or just
have the
Daniel
arm
Jones
to
is
get
like,
him the football.
If not,
Yeah.
my other two will be fine. They'll help me out.
Or they just say Daniel Jones is terrible and just direct snap to Malik Neighbors the whole year.
I probably should do that.
Or who's their backup?
Tyrod Taylor. No,
I
not
trust,
Tyrod
I
Taylor.
trust
He's
Tyrod
gone.
Taylor to get the
He
ball
should
to
probably play. He should be the starter.
I don't think he's there anymore.
Yeah, I don't think he's there anymore.
Well, whoever their backup is should probably start.
If you're paying the man that much money, I sure hope he will be
It's Drew
starting him.
Lock. Drew Lock is the
Oh,
backup.
it's Drew. Ooh,
Drew Lock should start.
See what the kid.
I'm still gonna start Daniel Jones at least week 1.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, I'm starting him until he just sucks.
I'm saying
It's
this.
still
I'm
week
paying you this
one.
much money. I got you your wide receiver 1. Go out there and show me something.
Yeah.
This is a really bad football team. There is 0% chance of this take happening.
So, Nick, this is the spicy stuff we were looking for.
I had to warm you guys up there for a minute.
With takes that we all agreed with.
All right, last one, Nick.
All
Make
right,
it a
last
good one.
last one for today.
Make it a good one.
Hayden commented, Chris Olave breaks out as a top 10 receiver in the NFL this season.
Ooh.
That's
I
not
don't know,
heinous.
but I don't think he's going to be top 10. I think he'll be in like the
He could be in like the
14
20-ish
to
range.
like 20 range. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
I
kind
love
of
Olave,
in.
but
Well, I think Olave is
he has
probably
Derek
already
Carr
in
throwing
that.
to him.
Olave is probably already in that like 15-ish range, right? I mean,
I think so.
Probably on like the either if he's in there or he's on the
I don't know.
top
There's a lot
I'll have
of
to
really
check
good
that.
receivers in the NFL.
I was about ready to say I'm going through guys right
Olave is
now.
one of them.
I'm
He's
going
probably
through
in the
guys right
low-
now that I would take.
Yeah, like he's had he's had over 1,000 yards each of the first 2 years of his career, but he's only got.
I just
9
don't like. He doesn't have the quarterback to kind of put him in like the elite receiver tier yet. But I mean, dude's had. I mean, like you literally just said, he's had 1,000 yards every year he's been in the league. Like, what else do you want? You know.
Yeah.
I think Chris Olave is a really good receiver.
The
Top
problem-
10's a bigger stretch.
Yeah, I think that's more like Garrett Wilson conversation.
Yeah.
Chris Olave.
Well, and the reason is because Garrett Wilson has a better quarterback situation.
I think, and I think if you look at it, like Garrett Wilson, if we talk Garrett Wilson, I think you can argue that Wilson's already in the 10. in my opinion.
I don't think you can.
I think
not right now. Give it another year or two. I think you can. But
my
I
question
think
is,
you could argue that he might be pushing the envelope if he's not there. I mean, honestly, like think that. I mean, in my mind,
He's
the
not
only
your top 10,
receivers
he's
that are
really
guaranteed in are like the top 5. Like other than that, it's kind of like, oh yeah, it could be him or I don't know, you know.
Yeah, I think
if he's
Garrett
not top
Wilson-
10, he's really close.
Like the top, like
he's
you
really
get,
close.
you have Jefferson, Tyreek, Chase,
Amon-Ra,
Amon-Ra,
CD.
and CD. Those are probably your top 5.
Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams is outside of that. And then you've
I'd
got
probably put Mike Evans above him
Mike
too.
Evans.
AJ
Mike
Brown.
Evans is in there, probably.
Yeah, and
AJ Brown's in
and
there.
Brandon Ayuk and DJ Moore.
Okay.
More so DJ Moore than Brandon Ayuk, but
I was gonna say Brandon Ayuk is him and Garrett Wilson are those guys that I feel are on the cusp of being that top 10.
no Stephon Diggs love, no Cooper Cup love, no Puka
Well,
love, none of that.
Diggs,
Look
I
at
don't believe is
Diggs.
top 10 anymore right now.
No, I
Cooper
don't think
Kupp
he
has
is
just
either,
been hurt.
but-
Cooper Kupp's just
If I'm
been
being
injured.
brutally honest, I trust Nico Collins more than I trust Stephon Diggs.
I also agree with that.
I agree.
Like
I don't even think Stephon Diggs is going to be like the lead guy on his team. So no, I don't think
Diggs
he's a top
tailed
10.
off in the and at the end of the past 2 seasons with the Bills, the amount Stephon Diggs tails off was unreal.
Yeah, I don't think Diggs is top 10 anymore. Cooper Kupp is just he's been hurt. I mean, dude
I
hasn't
think
played a full
Cousins
Yeah.
season in
will
2
get
years or
back
something.
to that if he's healthy.
So where
I
would
mean,
you put
Cooper-
Puka?
Not in the top 10.
I don't. He's only had 1 year.
It's
so
only
probably
been
not
1
top
year.
10.
I know,
If-
but
I don't
I'm
think
just
you can put him lower than 15 though,
I'm
I would
stirred.
take-
based off the season he had last year.
Hey,
I
gotta
would take Garrett
stir the
Wilson.
pot.
I would take Garrett Wilson as an individual receiver over Brandon Ayuk and Puka Nacua.
Yeah, I would-
DJ Moore, maybe not. I think Garrett Wilson is genuinely a good enough receiver to crack that like top 8, top 10
I think
range.
he could be after this year for sure.
So
To
I'm
answer
taking
the Olave
Garrett
Th-
Wilson
this is
easily
to,
over
yeah.
Brandon
To
Ayuk.
answer Olave, I don't think so. I don't think that
I don't
he's
think
going to get the service needed.
Heck of a
Derek
receiver,
Carr
love
being
him.
those
but-
he needs like don't get me wrong, he's had over 1,000 yards these past couple seasons, but it's gonna take a big season.
It's gonna
If
take
Spencer
like
Rattler comes in.
he needs to have a better quarterback situation because like
It's-
having 1,000 yards is I mean like he's had over 1,000 yards every year he's been in the league like that's really good but it's just not enough to get him into the top tier like elite range right now. If he was paired with like a good quarterback, then I think he could.
It's a similar. You know who I would throw into this a conversation based off of that idea that you just brought up, quarterback situation, that I think could explode and be a top guy this year. It's Terry McLaurin.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's had. Let me look up his stats. I think he's had 1,000 yards.
He's had 1,000 yards the last 4 years, I think.
I think Terry
Yeah,
McLaurin.
McLaurin's kind of in the same situation as Chris Olave.
I was gonna say this: the wide receiver, in my opinion, that I think blows up the most this season is gonna be Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin is the guy that I think could make a jump like
yeah,
that.
McLaurin's had 1,000 yards plus the past 4 years. His last.
I don't think
season
he jumps in the
100,000
top
was
10,
2019.
but
But I think he could have a big enough season where you could argue it.
If McLaurin gets if Jaden Daniels is actually like that guy and he gets 1,500 yards, he will absolutely be in the top 10.
Well, if he gets
better because
1,500 yards, then yeah.
I put a season-long parlay on him. He better.
Luckily, he's on my fantasy team.
Disclaimer: do not sports bet unless you are of legal age. Also, do not gamble what you cannot afford to lose.
Look at Nick being a responsible human
But,
being.
Are you just like all of a sudden some
but-
sort of like gambling commercial police here or
But
what?
gambling is
But gambling is fun if you are able to do it.
do what Nick does. Nick gambles like a penny every day.
Not true. Not true at all.
He puts like a dollar bet to win 2.5.
No.
Not anymore.
It is a $5 bet to win 120.
There you go. That's better.
Yeah.
And the odds of that actually hitting,
But when it does, I'm set for like a week.
We're saying this. We're saying this
A
now,
week.
but once we get big and we get sponsored by a
By
Betting.
DraftKings,
by like a betting company, we'll be
rolling.
we'll be coming back to this.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was fun. I enjoyed.
that was
I
fun.
enjoyed that.
That was fun.
That's what
Oh,
has been said.
If you have any more hot takes, put it in
Drop
the
them.
comments below here.
Yes.
Yeah.
'Cause
I would love to hear some hot takes.
Yeah, this would be a fun segment to do at the beginning of each week. I would think.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd like to hear some hotter ones, maybe.
Okay. Okay.
But I mean, It did start to get a little more spicy towards the end.
It heated up a little bit. I agreed with most of those takes.
As weeks go on, again, I'm sure
We'll get more
He didn't
material
want
to
to go
dissect.
like full on like.
That's
Laura
fair.
Hollins.
That's fair.
All right, shall we get into some predictions and talking about some of the games?
Let's do it.
It's so great to have an NFL slate to look forward to.
It is. All right. Week 1 predictions.
Ooh.
Here we go, baby.
Wow, I didn't know that did that.
Ah,
Nice little
He
graphic.
showed me this before you all joined. I was like, yeah. I was like, make it a little smaller, and that looks perfect.
That's
all
awesome.
right, yeah. Let's start off with Thursday slate. Ravens Chiefs
Kickoff
AFC.
game.
Dude, this is the
AFC
I
championship.
don't think you could
It's the
ask
best
for a
game of
better
the week.
one. A better start to the NFL season. I don't think you can think of one.
Yeah.
This is perfect.
I would have put Seahawks Broncos as the kickoff game. Personally.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. No, this game is a phenomenal way to kick off the season.
You get
for
to
sure.
start the season off with the AFC Championship rematch.
it's gonna be a good game.
There's going to be fireworks in this game. I think Lamar, and don't get me wrong, I know it's an Arrowhead, and we have openly said Arrowhead's one of the toughest places to play. I think this is going to be one of those games where it's just back and forth the entire time. It's either that or it's going to be a defensive slugfest.
It very well could be a defensive slugfest.
Two elite defenses, that's for sure.
2
Yeah.
elite quarterbacks.
That's also for sure. Top two. in
I don't
the
know,
league, if you
dude.
will.
This is a tough one to pick.
I know.
I want to go with the Chiefs because Patrick Mahomes and it's at Arrowhead, and because I don't like the Ravens. But I could very well see the Ravens winning this game. So I don't know. I mean, the Chiefs lost Week 1 to the Lions last year, and I think we predicted that one. But I don't know, dude.
I'm going to side on Baltimore. And I think it's more of that chip on your shoulder coming into this game. Like, this is the team that knocked you out of the playoffs. And you,
Yeah.
I mean,
At your house. Too.
at your house. So, exactly. You go in, you set an example from game 1 by going in and knocking out the Super Bowl, defending Super Bowl champs. I think Baltimore comes in with a vengeance in this game, and I think Lamar comes out and has a game. Zay Flowers figures out how to actually score a touchdown and not, lose it before the 1 yard line. And also, I just think I think the defense comes out and they try to set the tone early for the season. So I'm going Baltimore.
Listen.
Listen,
I like both teams, obviously. I think I'm gonna go with Kansas City here. I think it's gonna be a lower scoring game, but I think you're giving Andy Reid a full off season. You got no Patrick Queen, you got no Geno Stone. Arrowhead's gonna be rocking to prove that. I mean, they are the top dog, but they're gonna be wanting to show that. I think it'll be a lower scoring game, but I think I'm going to ride with the home team on a Harrison Butker game-winning field goal at the end.
I think I'm going to have to go with Kansas City as well. My gut was Kansas City going into the into the week here, so I'm going to probably have to stick with that. I think that just Lamar hasn't shown he can beat Mahomes, and it's in Arrowhead.
You played against them like one time, but all right.
So I'm gonna go ahead and keep Mahomes here. Nick, I'm choosing the Chiefs with Mahomes. You're your guy. So why are you hating on this?
no, he was just saying that he's only played him once.
I'm gonna go with.
Hasn't shown he can
the,
play it out. Okay.
I'm going to
Go
go with
ahead,
the
Evan.
Ravens. I'm going to go with Joel. I think it's going to be how that Lions game was last year, where they get upset. But I think the running duo with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson is going to be pretty good. And it's going to be a heck of a game. I wouldn't be surprised that, like Nick said, it comes down to like a game-winning field goal. But I'm going to give the edge to the Ravens in this one. It's going to be a phenomenal way to kick off the season.
I like it. We're divided.
Next.
We're split
Yes.
2-2.
We have a Friday game in
I'm
Brazil.
so excited.
Packers Eagles in Brazil on Friday night.
Can I-
Hopefully, everyone comes out unscathed.
Can I say this? Zach, I will be watching 2 Eagles games on Friday.
2 Eagles games?
Yeah.
What's the other one?
What do you think?
You're going to the TC game?
Because the kids that I teach are playing.
Oh, I thought. Are you not going to Dan's?
I'm gonna try to for a little bit, but But they only do this once, so
I understand.
Gotta represent.
gotta
All right.
represent. Gotta show the
Well-
kiddos that I'm.
Well, I will be watching one Eagles game.
I think the rest of us will be.
This is gonna be a good game.
This is going to be a really good game.
Yeah. I think that I'm going to side with Philadelphia on this one. I think that Jordan Love obviously ended last year scorching hot. But I think it's going to take him and a couple of the new faces for the Packers to like a week or two to fully gel and get back into the flow of things. The Eagles have a lot more of a veteran presence on that team.
Yep.
So I think it's technically a home game, but it's like not. It's obviously not. It's in Brazil.
Definitely not a home game for either
Yeah.
team.
But I think I'm going to side with the veteran presence of the Eagles on this one.
I'm probably going to have to take the Eagles as well, but I think it's going to be a really good game, though. Close game.
Evan, you want to go?
Sure. I'm also going to go with the Eagles. Me and Nick talked about this in our season predictions. I think the Eagles are gonna be back to their winning ways. I know they ended last season all disappointing, but I really like their team. I think they have addressed a lot of the holes. They got Kellen Moore now as the OC. They got Boston College's DC now as their
Vic
DC.
Fangio.
So
is their
he's been
DC.
good. So I'm excited for this Eagles team, and I think it's going to be another great game because the Packers, I think, are also going to have a good season, but I think this one's going to go to Philly.
I'm going to side with the Eagles as well, so it's going to be congratulations to Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, congratulations to the Packers for starting out 1-0.
But I think this is one of those games where you guys talked about the Baltimore and Kansas City game coming down to a field goal. I think this one comes down to a field goal, but I also could see it being a game full of fireworks where it's just offense galore.
I think this game is going to be more probably offense galore than the Ravens-Chiefs game, personally.
I would agree with that. But I'm going to side with the Eagles. I think Kellen Moore creates an offense that is going to be good for this team. And I think, Nick, I highlighted this. I think they're just more veteran presence on this Eagles team that is going to help travel. And that veteran presence and that's going to help in a lot of different ways. So I'm going to go with the Eagles as well.
All right, now heading into the Sunday slate, we got a couple of boring games to start off, but
Which one?
start off with Cardinals Bills.
Ooh.
I actually don't think this is a boring game. I think this
No,
is
this
a very
isn't one of the
interesting
boring
game.
games.
I think I'm going to go with the Cardinals on this one. I think the Cardinals are going to have a good year, and I don't think the Bills are. So I discussed that on my preseason rankings, or my season predictions. So I'm going to take the Cardinals.
I'm gonna be siding with Buffalo in this game. If it was in Arizona, I would consider taking the Cardinals, but I talked about this in the preseason predictions. The Cardinals' defense is going to be terrible. And when you've got a quarterback like Josh Allen, that's all you really need to take advantage of an awful defense. Plus, I think that he's going to be trying to prove something. He's going to have something to show the rest of the league that, hey, Buffalo's not dead yet. We're still going to be kicking, even though we've lost a lot of guys. So, yeah, I'm going to take Buffalo to win this one.
I'm also going to take
Respectable.
Buffalo. I really like the Cardinals. I agree with Weave. I think they're going to have a really good season this year. But I think in Buffalo, Josh Allen's still a phenomenal quarterback. I'm interested to see how this revamped offense looks because there's a lot of new faces there. But I think it's going to be a good game. And I do like the Cardinals, but I think they're going to be starting out the season 0-1, and they're going to fall to the Bills.
I'm going to take Buffalo as well. I know I'm the big Cardinals guy this year.
Well, I'm the only one that took him, so
I know, but just traveling to Buffalo, I think Buffalo takes care of business in this one. I mean,
early kick, too, for Cardinals players.
It's
but
not,
hey,
I'm hoping
couldn't
Marv
you
starts
see
off
the
well.
Cardinals coming into Buffalo and just giving them a little bit of a slap? And
I
saying,
could.
hey,
I really could, but it's just I even with how I just don't their defense isn't good. And that defense
I don't think the Bills is either.
like, don't get me wrong, I know it's
I
not. I think-
have more faith in Sean McDermott, though,
Yeah.
to get that Buffalo defense on track than I do Jonathan Gannon and their defensive coordinator.
yeah.
Well,
I'm going to Buffalo.
we'll see.
We shall see.
No,
Zach,
I could see Arizona going into Buffalo and winning that game.
I could too. This was the game that as I was going through this before our pod, I was swung on the fence. I was leaning the entire time. This is probably that big one for me. And I know there's a lot of good games. This was the one that really haunted me.
This was the snooze fest I was talking about. Vikings Giants.
Oh, God.
Oh gosh, I could care less.
I will not
listen,
be watching this game.
Yeah, listen.
Give me the
I'll-
Vikings.
Just turn on Red Zone. It'll be fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you won't miss much. I think I'm going to take the Giants just because I like their defensive line. I think this will be one of the games they win against a lower tier competition. But it's not going to matter. I don't think either of these teams are going to be good this year.
I'm going to go with the Vikings. I think Sam Darnold will do just enough to get it done. You still have Justin Jefferson. You still have you have Aaron Jones now. Is Jordan Addison playing? Do we know?
I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah.
Let me look.
But I mean, we talked at length of their situation, but this is a battle of two very bad teams. And
Yeah.
I think the Vikings have a little bit more star power, so I'm gonna give it to them.
It says Jordan Addison is expected to play.
Okay.
Even if he wasn't playing, I would probably still take the Vikings.
Yeah, but it helps.
I think this is going to be one of the Giants' few wins this year. I'm going to take the Giants at home. Man, this is just a flip of the coin. This is so bad. I feel bad for whoever has to watch this game.
This game's fun.
I'm going to just say it, plain and simple. But I'm going to go with the Giants.
valid.
All right.
I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Titans Bears next.
Titans Bears.
I
think the Caleb Williams era gets off to a W here. I think in Chicago, lots of hype. I think Caleb Williams is already a better quarterback than Will Levis. So,
Yep.
I'm gonna be riding with Chicago in this one.
Chicago
I will
for me
as
as
well.
well. I'm
So we
excited to see what this offense looks like.
Yeah.
I'm also going Chicago. The Titans are nothing special. And yeah, I'm excited to see this new look Bears team run by Caleb Williams, and we'll see if Caleb Williams can start off lighting the world on fire, or if he's just gonna be like, all right, we'll see. But that'll be.
I mean, this is a pretty.
Did you go with the Bears as
Yeah.
well?
Yeah, this is a pretty
Clean sweep.
inferior team we're looking at here. I don't think the Titans are going to be very good. I think I actually had them having I think I had them being in the top 5 for draft picks going into the next season. Like
Are you talking
what,
the Titans?
4 or 5? Yeah, 4 or 5 wins, I think. So I don't think the Titans are going to be very good this year. And I mean, this Caleb Williams Bears team is just about the best team that a number 1 quarterback has ever came into as a rookie. So I think that the Bears are going to take this win. Even if Caleb Williams does not light the world on fire, he can come out and just play a solid week 1 game. I think they're still going to win the game.
All right, another snooze fest. Panthers Saints.
Oh gosh,
New Orleans.
New
They're at
Orleans.
home.
Give me the Panthers, just to be different.
I want
And
Iguodala.
I want
So give me the
Iguodala.
Panthers.
I'm gonna go with the Saints, despite all of the Panthers fans
Love.
apparently, the people that are around.
I respect you all for having so much faith in your team.
Yes,
I really do.
that
But
it was.
I
it
love
was
them. I
nice.
also
0-1
the comments are great. Like I don't.
It was awesome.
We're not like angry at any of them.
No.
just funny.
Yeah, they're just funny. They're just fun to read.
But I'm gonna go with the Saints. When we talked about, you still have Chris Olave, you have Alvin Kamara. That defense has some pieces to it. I think we'll see how Bryce Young plays. I think that'll be interesting, but
He could turn a leaf, but
battle of the mid.
I think Bryce Young will show that he is good enough to be the Panthers' starting quarterback for at least a couple more years.
We will see.
Well,
I'm
it's a
very,
division
I'm very
game
well
right off the
conceded,
bat.
but it's not going to start off here.
All right, heating up a little bit. Steelers Falcons.
I think
Ooh.
this game will actually be a very good barometer of how good these teams are going to be
I agree.
this season. I think these two teams are pretty evenly matched, all things considered. However, I like the late additions on defense for the Falcons with Matthew Judon and Justin Simmons. I don't know why Justin Simmons is not a Colt, but I digress. I love those. I love those 2 additions for Atlanta. I think it showed up their defense just enough at home. Kirk Cousins' first game in Atlanta, Big Kirko. I think he does just enough to get the job done. I'm going to take Atlanta.
I'm going to take Atlanta here too.
You like
You like that?
I'm taking
Give me-
Atlanta. Here.
Give me Atlanta.
They just got like Nick said, Matthew Judon and Justin Simmons. Those are really big defensive additions. Personally, I really like Kirk Cousins a lot. I think he's going to have a really great year this year.
The Kirko chains.
I was very high on the Falcons going into the year. This, I think, will be a good game, though, because the Steelers' strength is their defense. So could they shut down the Falcons' offense? Definitely. But I think it's going to be a good game. But I'm going to go with the Falcons here.
TJ Watt could have a game.
He could.
He tends
If
to
he's
go
going
off
up
week
against
1.
Chris Lindstrom, I don't know.
TJ Watt's one of the best defensive players in the league,
And
Nick.
Chris Lindstrom's one of the best offensive linemen in the league. He got his contract for a reason.
Yeah.
He's probably one of the best.
Yeah, but I think TJ Watt could do something
No,
against
either
any
player.
tackle in the league.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to go with the Falcons. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, but I trust their offense more than I do Pittsburgh's. I think Pittsburgh's offense, at least for the beginning of the season, isn't going to be great. I haven't. They had that quarterback battle between Fields and Russ, and from what I heard, they're both not playing well at all. So they got some. I think they have a couple guys who are questionable, but I think they should play. But yeah, I think it's going to be a lower scoring game, but I'm going to give the edge to the Falcons just because I like their offense better. And Raheem Morris will start his head coaching tenure off with going 1-0.
All right, so congratulations,
Yes, sir.
Pittsburgh, for their 1-0 start.
No,
because we all
won't
want
happen.
Atlanta.
No.
Won't happen.
We don't say that phrase here, Nick.
No.
No.
My bad, guys.
Jags Dolphins.
Another interesting game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another good game.
Who wants to start this one off?
It's in Miami.
Miami
I'm going to
starts
probably
off
go with
the
the
year
Dolphins. What?
They
I
always
said
start
Miami
the year
State
off
Jaguars.
hot. So I think, give me Miami. I think Tyreek Hill might explode in this first game.
I sure
Yeah,
hope
I
so.
think I'm going to be riding with the Dolphins on this one as well.
It'd be a nice
Even though I
fantasy
still
win.
haven't abandoned the Jags train, I'm going to probably hop with the Dolphins here on this one.
I'm going to go Dolphins too. They always start off pretty hot. I think it's going to be a good game, though. We'll see how this Jags team looks. I'm interested to see how they look because I'm a little down on them more than I was last year, but we'll see. Battle of Florida in this game, so should be a good one. But I'm going to give the edge to the Dolphins just because their offense is going to be really good. I think Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. I think Devon Achane going to have a big year. I think their offense is going to be prolific again. So.
If this game was being played in mid-November, I would pick Jacksonville to be different. But Miami always starts the season off red hot.
They come out swinging, so
Yeah, I'm gonna take Miami in this game as well.
All right, Patriots Bengals.
Listen. You all are gonna hate this.
I won't listen. I
You
won't
all are gonna
listen.
hate this,
We're all
okay?
picking the Bengals. Move on.
I think this game will be uncomfortably close for Cincinnati, but I do think they will end up winning this game.
Okay, all right.
I am picking Cincinnati.
Whether it's close or not, whatever.
All-
It could
all
be a
the-
close game. You know, it probably will be a close game.
All
But
the internal issues with Cincinnati could get in their head, but this is the biggest layup of a week 1 game you could possibly ask for. So I'm going to take the Bengals at home in this one. With or without Jamar Chase.
yeah,
I'm
agree
going
with that.
Bengals.
I'm going Bengals.
Side note: do we think Jamar's going to play?
I don't know, dude.
I think there's honestly a good chance he doesn't.
I don't want him to
Dude.
hold out, but it's looking likely.
Chris Jones,
Oh, he hasn't practiced
I know,
again today.
I know last
so-
year Chris Jones
Yeah, he didn't play the
he
first
didn't he
week.
got his contract extension like hours before they kicked off against Detroit. So
Oh,
it could-
yeah.
I think it'll end up being a similar situation to that, where
Or
maybe
when-
he misses the first game, but after
Yeah,
that,
I think-
he should be good to go.
I think that the Bengals I think that they're going to extend him.
Yeah.
Like they're not going to not, you know. So the deal's going to get done. I don't think it's going to get done in time for this first game. I mean, I was just talking about this yesterday. The Bengals play in 4 days. And Jamar Chase 4 days, is that 4
5
days,
days.
right?
5
days. And Jamar Chase has practiced one time with the team the entire offseason.
Yeah.
Even if the Bengals sign him like
Today,
playing this
like,
weekend.
right
Thursday, Friday, like I don't know.
He's
But
not,
I'm still taking Bengals.
he's still not playing this week. I don't think he plays this weekend.
Yeah, but I'm
Could
still
be.
taking the Bengals though. I think there's a
it'd
good
be
chance he
like
doesn't play, but they're still winning.
when they gave Burrow a contract, they announced that like a few minutes into the Thursday night game. So I think we could see that happen again, where right at the buzzer, basically they
Well,
announced that.
I mean, the
'Cause
difference.
They've ramped up talks these last
Yeah.
couple of days, but I don't know. No one knows really how they work.
They should have done it before CD got his contract.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
But see, the other thing, I think that he was probably waiting for CD.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sure he was.
And also, the other thing is that Burrow was going to play whether he got that deal or not week 1. Like,
Yeah.
Jamar, I don't think he plays until he gets his deal. And even if he gets it, I don't think that I just don't. It's too quick of a turnaround, I think, for week 1. So I think the chances of him not playing are more likely than him playing.
All right, last game on the 1:00 slate: Texans Colts should be a good one.
There's a
No
these
one
are
is
some-
talking about this game enough. Like, I feel like this is one of the games of the weekend across the
That's the
entire
I was gonna-
NFL.
I was gonna say
This game should be good.
In
Excited for
Indy,
this game.
I don't
Listening.
think that the Colts. I think the Colts are going to put up a good fight, right? I think that Shane Steichen's got this whole team dialed in. I think they've been locked in since the opening week of training camp. However, I think that the Anthony Richardson roller coaster is going to have a lot of highs and a lot of lows. And against a team like Houston, he's going to have to play almost perfect. And the Colts secondary is terrible.
Bad.
It's not good. And Houston is a team that can exploit that. Also, Indianapolis has not won a Week 1 game since 2014. So I think, which was also the last year they won the AFC South. So not to like throw that out there, but if they win on Sunday, they're winning the division, right?
Wrong. Yeah.
I'm gonna take
Snap back to reality.
Yeah, I'm gonna on a Week 1 game in over a decade. I'm gonna take Houston in this game, as much as it pains me to do so. Maybe in a couple months when they go back to Houston, it'll be a different story. But for this game on Sunday, I'm gonna take the Texans.
I agree with that. Texans on this one. Maybe it might be different round 2, but I think that it goes to the Texans this time.
I went back and forth on this one, and I'm going to give Houston the nod simply because I think C.J. Stroud is going to throw it all over the field on Colts secondary.
On this egregiously bad secondary.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going with Houston as well. I think their offense is just going to be too prolific for that secondary. But I do think Anthony Richardson's going to show some flashes. I do like the Colts this year, but the Texans, they're just really good this year, and I don't think they're going to start off slow. So
There you go, Nick.
going with Houston.
We're winning Week 1. No, we're not.
Let's
I'm
go.
gonna knock on wood.
I'm delusional.
I'm delusional.
There you
All right.
go.
Heading into the 4 o'clock slate now, Raiders-Chargers.
Chargers.
Jim Harbaugh's first
Harbaugh gets his
game back in the NFL.
Harbaugh gets his first win with the Chargers against the Raiders. I think this is a low-scoring game and a very slow game.
This is a game I won't really want to watch.
No.
Give me the
But
Chargers.
I'm going to take the Chargers as well. The Harbaugh era begins on a high.
Yes. I'll also go Chargers. The Raiders they're not great. And we'll see how I'm interested to see how this offense works with Justin Herbert and Jim Harbaugh-led offense. So I'm very interested to see kind of how all those pieces work out. But I think the Chargers overall are a more talented team, and I think Jim Harbaugh will start his return to the NFL with a victory.
I'll be different. I'll take the Raiders in this one.
The Raiders!
I think that the Chargers will take a week or two to fully buy into the Jim Harbaugh scheme, and Devontae Adams will have a big game in LA. So I'll take the Raiders in this one.
Well, I just saw something the other day about that to piggyback off what you just said, Nick. Their new OC was with Devontae Adams in Green Bay when he was wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 2 in fantasy.
Unfortunately, he does not have Aaron Rodgers throwing.
Unfortunately, he does not.
He
But
has
Gardner Minshew is serviceable.
Shout out Gardner Minshew, Colts legend.
I'm just throwing that out there.
Devontae Adams going to have a humongous year.
If you watched receiver, Devontae Adams might not want to get out before he dies. But
Well, I don't think Gardner Minshew is going to be throwing him hospital balls anymore. So
yeah, no, I agree. That's why.
Devontae Adams is going to be the one that
Jimmy G
surpasses
was
2,000
throwing
yards
him
this year.
hospital balls.
Mark it.
He's going to get targeted
Mark
200 times because he's the only one that will get open.
He will be the one.
Every single time we talk about Devontae Adams, I remember the Camaro in the trailer park.
I'm telling you, he will be the one that surpasses 2,000 yards this year.
Devontae Adams?
Yes.
Do you
Wow.
actually, believe that?
You don't believe that.
I was going to say, there's no way you believe that.
I don't believe that.
Okay.
All right. Broncos, Seahawks.
Seahawks. I'm not spending too much time on this.
I'm not spending too much time on this either. Seattle.
I'm going to spend a half hour discussing this game.
Of course you would.
Of course you are. You're going to take the Broncos.
You're going to take.
Give me the Seahawks. The Broncos are heinous.
You're going to take.
Although
the
Bo
Raiders
Nix
game.
is not that bad. Okay?
I love it.
We will
Zach has
see.
to make that emphasis every podcast.
Because every podcast we emphasize how bad he is, and he's not that bad.
It's going to be this year's version of Arthur Smith. His Bo Nix is not that terrible.
He's not that bad. He's really not. He put on a show in the preseason.
But-
He's not that bad.
Against third stringers?
Sean Payton has been wowed by him from the draft combine.
Sean
I will-
Payton's probably
Sean
high.
Payton is a
He said
solid
that.
coach. He
I will
coached with
say-
Drew Brees.
I will say this about Zach. I am proud of you that it's something positive this year and not negative.
It's a good
I'm trying to stick up for this guy because I don't even know why he gets so much hate. He was good at Oregon.
I tried giving Arthur Smith some love last year for a little bit there, and
Well, and that was just not reasonable.
That was a blunder on your
Apparently,
end.
Yeah.
how is it a blunder? He almost
He
got
was terrible.
he almost got them to the NFC the NFC
we're not
South
talking about
Championship.
Arthur Smith. We're not going down this rabbit hole again. Apparently, according to TikTok, we're too low on the Seahawks this year, so we'll give them
Ow.
a win for the league. I don't
We
know.
have them at 9 and
We'll
8.
have him at like 9 or 8 wins.
I don't know. A lot of people were like, "These guys think that the Seahawks didn't get any better, and it's the Geno Smith and the Jets." And we're like, whatever.
If this was Geno Smith from the Jets, they'd be 6-11.
Geno Smith is objectively not their franchise quarterback. He is not the future of this
Yeah,
team.
he's
He's
good.
serviceable.
Like he's serviceable. I'm not saying he's bad, but he's not gonna like win you a. Like,
He's like a bridge. He is like a serviceable bridge quarterback. Like,
That's just been there for a couple years now.
yeah, There's not like a
no
lot to
disrespect
love.
to Geno Smith. Like I'm sure he's a great guy, but
Fantastic, dude.
I mean, the Seahawks are winning this week, but I mean,
we'll see down the line with him.
All right, this one should be a pretty good one. Cowboys Browns.
It's Tom Brady's commentating debut as well.
Yes, it
This
is.
was-
Cleveland, Ohio, of all places.
That would be fun.
this will be a solid game.
Yeah. I'm going to take Dallas in this game. I think both defenses are pretty solid, and I don't think Deshaun Watson is a good enough quarterback to take advantage of some of the slight weaknesses that Dallas's defense provides, as in their linebackers kind of when Micah Parsons is not rushing the quarterback. But I think, listen, as much as I trash on Dak and the Cowboys, Dak is a solid quarterback in the regular season, so I think that CD got paid. I think he's bought in. I think they'll do just enough to take down the Browns in Cleveland this week.
Yeah, I will also probably be riding with the Cowboys on this one for the same reasons. I just don't think Deshaun Watson is the guy at all, and the Cowboys defense is very good. So, and CeeDee Lamb's playing, so that helps.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Cowboys as well. I think it's going to be a good game, a good defensive battle. But now that CD is officially playing, I think that obviously gives them an edge. And yeah, I like their offense a little bit better. Plus, Nick Chubb will still be out for the first 4 weeks. And we'll see. They got the Browns got a couple new receivers in there, so we'll see how that room looks. But it should be a good one. 2 elite edge rushers going up against each other, Micah Parsons and Myles Garrett. But I'm going to give the edge to the Cowboys.
I'm gonna be different. Give me the Browns.
That's what we like to hear.
I just think with Deron Bland being out, that's a big factor for me. I'm gonna side with the Browns defense to make enough plays in this one, and the defense to set the offense up to score some. So I'm gonna take Cleveland in this one. I think it's gonna be a lower scoring game,
It could be pretty similar to the Browns-Bengals game last year, where
I was gonna say maybe like a 20-17 game.
yeah, like the Browns' offense didn't play particularly well, but their defense was so good that it didn't really matter.
Yeah.
But the Cowboys are a lot better than the Week 1 Bengals, so
It's true.
True. Still, give me the Brownies.
I just opened my Twitter. Shout out Scott Matlock for the Chargers. He's a 6'4", 300-pound fullback. So
yes.
I think
I'm
we
now
know what the
changing my pick
Chargers-
to the. No, I'm
I
just
think we
kidding.
know what the Chargers are planning on doing. They
When
will
you
be in
sign a
the-
guy like that, I don't think you're planning on going empty.
They will be in the I formation constantly.
Run it down their throats.
So the Chargers are going to win this game.
All right. Commanders Bucks. Last game on the 4 o'clock slate.
Give me the Bucks on this one. I think the Bucks are a pretty solid little football team. And Jaden Daniels and the Commanders are just gonna they gotta get oiled here, you know?
I think they're already well oiled. Give me the Commanders.
You know, I'm not very high on the Commanders this year, but I think the Jaden Daniels era gets started off with a win. There's always one game that's kind of like, that's an interesting result. I think that'll be it. The Commanders go to Tampa and take down the Buccaneers.
That's
You guys remember this from a couple years ago? The Titans went into Arizona when Arizona was coming off like the best season they'd had in a while. They'd made some changes. Kyler Murray was coming off of a pretty good season, and then the Titans come in and beat them 38-10.
I thought it was the other way around.
Was it?
I think it was. I think this was after the Titans like won the AFC South and Derrick Henry
Was
had
it?
like 2,000 yards.
I
And
could
then,
have swore it was the.
Like Arizona came in and just beat the No, that was because that was when Chandler Jones had 5 sacks.
Oh, that is right.
And
Never mind.
That
Never
was
mind.
when the Kyler Murray like MVP train got
Was that when
going
they
in
started off
2021.
really like?
Yeah, that was when they
going,
started off 8-0.
Okay, so it was that game, but I just had it flipped. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that game vividly.
I remember watching it. I'm like, what? What?
I remember on Red Zone, I remember Scott Hansen saying Chandler Jones has a sack. I was like, he said this like 3 or 4 times. And then I was like, holy crap, he had 5 sacks?
And then didn't he end with like 12?
Something like that,
It
yeah.
was something like that. It was started the season off with 5, and
I'm gonna go with the Bucks on this one. I do like the Commanders. I think they're gonna be good, but I like the Bucks just a little bit more. At least for this game, I think it'll take a little bit for Jaden to kind of get into his role. I'm interested to see how that receiving core looks now that they don't have John Dodson. It's basically just Terry McLaurin, and I guess they got Luke McCaffrey, who we'll see how he does.
they did just bring in Noah Brown too.
Yeah, that could be good.
Scary Terry's
So-
the guy.
Yeah, I think the Bucks are going to take this one. I think it's going to be a close game, but I'm going to give the edge to the Bucks. All right, Sunday Night Football.
Ooh.
We got the
Lions.
Rams Lions.
What a tasty game for the first Sunday night.
Oh yeah,
This is a
Of the year.
really good
I
game.
think, Dan, you talk about an offseason that stings in Detroit. You are plays away from making it to your first Super Bowl in franchise history, where, to be honest, you would have a good shot to win. You're playing a team that you beat early on in the year if you take care of San Francisco. I think that Dan Campbell has this team fully dialed in, and the rest of their team has another year of experience, and now they've got some heartbreak in their system to push them even further. I think the Lions get the year started off with a bang and beat the Rams at home on Sunday night.
I'm gonna go with the Lions as well. I think this is another game of fireworks, guys. It's gonna be. I think it has the makings of being a game similar to how last year's game was.
That's fair.
Come down to a final play, but I'm gonna lean the Lions.
I think there's a good chance that this game does end up like that. Yeah, I'm going to probably roll with the Lions here on this one as well.
I'm also going to roll with the Lions. I think it's going to be a heck of a game. Great way to start off Sunday Night Football. Two good offenses going up against each other, but I'm going to give the edge to the Lions because I agree with Nick. Dan Campbell's been sitting on that NFC Championship loss all offseason. He's going to have his guys ready and motivated, so I think they're going to come in and take care of business. But I think Lions, Rams, that little rivalry is going to be fun for a while. All right.
This will be a fun one to watch.
Rams, you got the win. Congratulations. I love saying that.
we'll see if that actually happens. Where every time
It
it's a
could.
clean
It
sweep,
very
the
well
opposite
could.
team wins. All right, final game Monday night: Jets Niners.
They're not playing in MetLife, so I think Aaron Rodgers' Achilles will survive this go around. However, I'm gonna take San Francisco to win this game.
I gotta take San Francisco here with this one.
They're just too balanced. They're just too good of a team. Kyle Shanahan is arguably the best head coach in the NFL. I just they're and another offseason that burns. I mean, losing the Super Bowl in overtime is about as rough as it gets.
Yeah, I don't think this Niners team got worse really in any way. This is pretty much the same team that we saw last year, except better. I think Brock Purdy's got another year.
You just inked up Brandon Ayuk long term.
Yeah, so I don't. I mean, I think Aaron Rodgers and the Jets are going to be good. I might not be quite as high on them as some people might be, but I mean, you got to go with San Francisco here. I mean, this is still for the third year in a row or however long it's been. This is still probably I think the best all around team in football. So I'm going to go with the Niners here.
I'm going to go with the Niners as well. As much as I wanted to take the Jets in this game, I just think, I mean, you guys alluded to it, the Niners' most complete team. It's just a tough week one matchup.
It is.
I'm going to go with the Niners as well. Like Joel said, it's going to be a fireworks game. It's going to be a great game. And I think Aaron Rodgers will play more than one drive. That will happen.
Hopefully so.
Praying for it. Praying for it.
For my fantasy team and Garrett Wilson's sake, I hope so.
Yeah.
Amen.
But, yeah, I mean, you guys basically talked about it. The 49ers are the best team on paper. The Jets are not too shabby either. I'm very excited to see that defense. I think that defense is going to be phenomenal this year. We'll see how they do. And we hopefully get to see a Aaron Rodgers-led Jets offense for the first time. So that'll be fun to watch as well. So I think it's going to be a great game, but I'm going to give the edge to the 49ers on this one.
Plus a Breece Hall coming off year 2 of an ACL tear.
Should be scary.
That's scary.
Yeah, that's true too.
And by the way, Jets, congratulations.
Yeah, that's congratulations, Jets. I don't know why, but this week we all had pretty similar predictions for a lot of games being toss-ups.
I don't think it's too bad.
I think most of the time, a lot of our game predictions are pretty
close.
Yeah.
We see eye to eye most of the time on those.
Yeah.
Or it's like split.
Yeah.
All right, well, those are our week one predictions. Let us know what you guys think. Let us know if you what games you guys are going to be tuned into. We're excited. Football's back. We're going to be back here every week, talking about all the games, giving our predictions week by week. And this year we're going to keep track of our predictions throughout the year, and then by the end of the year we'll see who has the most correct, and maybe they'll get something.
Who has the best ball knowledge?
Maybe the loser has to do a forfeit. We'll see. But should be good. I'm excited. We're excited for football season. Football's back. Good time to be alive. If you guys enjoyed, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace.